I haven't got words. That was genuinely traumatic. Honestly, I haven't felt that traumatized and sort of horrified and disturbed by a film since Saint Maud, or maybe Barbarian. I'm probably traumatized. I won't lie. I haven't even said what the film's called yet. I'm properly freaked out. This evening, I came to see a new horror film called Immaculate, and I may take some time to recover because it was one of the most unsettling things I've seen, since Saint Maud. I tell you what, you want to freak somebody out? Catholics, Latin, singing, candles, job done. Having said that, quite a lot of films try religious horror and it doesn't always work, and it can be really schlocky. And there was a new Exorcist film recently that I just didn't bother with because the reviews were absolutely dire. But this little film, which sort of snuck up on me, didn't know it was coming out. Then it was on like a limitless screening last week and I didn't make it to it, so that put it on my radar. And then, although I haven't heard the review, I heard via somebody else that Mark Kermode had given this quite a good review, which when it comes to horror is always a ringing endorsement, because obviously Mark Kermode is Mr. The Exorcist, big fan, favourite film of all time. So if he says a horror film's good, it's a good horror film. He's not wrong. It's a very good horror film. And I will go and listen to what he had to say about it. I'm trying to organise my thoughts because they're pinging about all over the place. Okay, so actress Sydney Sweeney, who I didn't really know, but my daughter knows, so therefore that tells you she's the sort of actress that 15-year-olds have heard of. And I've just looked her up, and apparently she's been in The White Lotus and she was in The Handmaid's Tale, so I have seen her in something, and various other bits and bobs. She plays Cecilia, a young woman who travels from her home in Detroit, Michigan, to a very picturesque part of Italy to join a very highly respected convent. So she is a nun. And she's not running away from anything. She's not coming from a bad life. She just wants to give her life to God. You find out very early on that when she was younger, she had an accident and she survived this accident, and she became convinced that God saved her for a reason, for a purpose, and she's just trying to find out what her purpose is. And when the church that she belongs to back home in the States, the parish sort of closes down because of lack of parishioners, members, whatever you want to call it. I'm not crying, I'm not that scared, my eyes are watering. She is recruited by a priest who reaches out, and she makes the journey from the States to Italy. And she considers this an honour. She's very grateful to be there. And the convent, the place that she is going to live, is where older nuns go, sort of like a hospice for older nuns as they reach the end of their life. And the younger sisters, sort of serve and help them on their final journey towards, death and therefore God. So we get an opener which indicates that all may not be quite as it seems at this gaff. But then we follow Cecilia's story. We see her arriving in Italy, checking her paperwork. Why is she here? Well, obviously she's clearly dressed as a nun. She's here to join a convent. And the gentleman at immigration, or sort of at the airport, are saying, oh, this must have been a difficult decision, because she's very pretty. She's got this lovely big wide open face. And obviously, like, she's made to look like she hasn't got makeup on. Obviously she will have makeup on, she's in a film. But they've done this thing where they've made her look really plain. And like I say, I don't know this actress at all. And I'd imagine when she is fully made up, she's absolutely stunning. She's very pretty with like a plain face. But yeah, why would a young, blonde, blue-eyed American woman want to travel to Italy and devote her life to God? But when she says this is her purpose, you believe her. You know, she is absolutely committed to this journey and this life that she's chosen. She meets another sister in the convent who she kind of strikes up a little friendship with. But very early on, things are not quite right. What I loved about this film and why it's so absolutely goddamn terrifying is because it's not supernatural. It's real people, real Catholics doing weird shit in the name of God. And that is scary. Like I say, this isn't demons and possession and people's eyes rolling back in their head and all that sort of stuff. This is just atrocities being committed, masquerading as, but this is our purpose, this is our religion, this is our faith, this is what we believe. It is scary. And it's the powerlessness of her as her fate unfolds. And I really don't want to say a huge amount about it, but as it unfolds, it's that like, who is going to help her? How is she going to get out of this? Because she is trapped. And it's scary. It is so well crafted. It's only 90 minutes long, and big up the return of the 90-minute film, because I've seen a couple of films this year that weren't that long. I mean, the last film I saw last week, Drive Away Dolls, was only 90 minutes, and it was terrible 90 minutes. This was an absolute belter of a 90 minutes. I love it because it's quite a subtle build-up. There are some jump scares, I won't lie. There are some kind of punchy, scary moments, but a lot of the fear comes from Cecilia's fear of, what am I going to do? I can't get out. These people are crackers and I'm stuck here. And it's really, really scary. And she honestly puts in such a compelling performance. What it reminded me of, although they're very different films, it reminded me of Florence Pugh in Midsommar all those years ago. It's not that long ago, is it? 2020? 2021? I don't know. But that similar thing of like beautiful young woman coming from something traumatic and ending up in a situation that's supposed to be helpful and healing and winds up being anything but. Like, Sydney Sweeney is so good in this. She's so compelling and so watchable. And then I didn't really recognise anybody else. Well, I didn't even know her, to be fair. But like, there's no other famous faces in it as far as I can tell. But it's really creepy. And like I say, it's because it's not demonic possession, it's not supernatural, it's people, real normal, quote unquote normal people, doing absolute batshittery in the name of God. And the funny thing is, when I told my daughter I was going to see it, immediately she said, "Oh, Sydney Sweeney's in that." I was like, "Yes, I know." And then she's like, "Yeah, but it's about nuns. Nuns are scary." Every nun I've ever met, bloody lovely. I've known quite a few. I had a Catholic education. I had a nun as a headmistress at my second primary school. When I went out to Holy Island for camp, there was a nun there. She wore Nike trainers and played football. She was brilliant. There was nuns at my secondary school. Like, I've met a lot of nuns. Nice ladies. We used to go around to the convent where our head teacher lived, me and my mate. We went round once just to knock on the door and say hello. They went, "Not now, girls. We're watching Blockbusters with Bob Holness." So my experience of nuns, not scary at all. This lot, no thanks. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Subtle, well-crafted, well-paced, brilliant performances. Scary, gory, nasty, brilliant stuff. I loved this film. This will be top 10. It might be top 5. I liked it a lot. It was good. If you don't like horror films, give this one a big old swerve, because my God, this is a hell of a horror film. I'm going home now and I'm going to sleep with the lights on. Yeah. It's really scary. Okay, thanks for listening. Wish me luck. Katie out.